Sean, why don't I hand it over to you for the first question and an introduction to the candidate.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for being part of this process. I know that it's not easy to step forward. I know that you have had time that you've run before. And so that part of the process is really appreciated. You have, yeah, it's people, a lot of times people don't understand how difficult it is to step out into the process because you got family, like you right now, you're in your car because you've got your kids and everything else going on, doing a
life
very-
still happens, yeah, life still happens.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to thank you for that. And I'm gonna, when I ask my questions, I want to try to keep them very succinct, like 30-second answers, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
The first question is, what is it that makes you qualified for the office that you're running for?
No, I've been doing community things, doing things throughout our community. We recently, with the help of Lance Collins, we were able to help gain some beach access back from several of the hotels that had closed them up. So in that case, thank you, Lance, and thank you for the people of Maui and the people, the hotel community, the condominium community who are accommodating for us. And it was a really pleasurable experience doing that. I have just being born and raised on this side of the island, being involved in the communities, just with sign waving, backing up the right candidates, whether it be helping the schools raise money, helping coach football, helping coach wrestling. I'm a very active member of this community, and I believe that in Lahaina, specifically, where I'm from, I think we deserve more. We deserve our hospital. We deserve our playgrounds. We deserve our, how would I say, community center, like other places have on this island. We bring in so much money to this state, yet we're lacking a lot of the basic necessities.
I apologize. We've only got a very small amount of time, so we have to keep it really short.
Yeah, just I'm an active member of the community. I carry a strong voice. I'm not one to sit around and.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm asking, please, I apologize. I have to keep it succinct. So the second question is, what is it that you're going to do that's better than the incumbent that the incumbent has not done in the legislature?
Well, what I feel like I'd like to get the community more involved. Have more community input to what's going on. Because as a state rep, I would have a community liaison. That would be one of the first things that I would promote. Have people in the community and let them express their needs and come together and collaborate with the community. We have a lot of smart people on this west side that are way smarter than I am. So, I get great ideas from the people who live here. And that's where it's going to lead me.
Okay, great. And the final point is, who are the three largest contributors to your campaigns at any time that you've run for either county council or this time around?
Well, this time I'm running as a Republican. For strategic reasons and because okay, so in the past when I ran for county council, I was backed by all the unions, construction unions, ILWU, AFL-CIO, Maui Hotel and Lodging, all the union. I had all the union support. I believe that my lack of experience on the county level or doing things was maybe my downfall. I'm a vocal person here, and if you're from Lahaina and if you need help and you ask,
I got you. Got you. Okay, thank you. Yeah. You answered that. Final question is, what part of the state constitution is your favorite, and can you quote that particular part of the Constitution? Well, because you're going to be actually working in the legislative side, and you're going to be working to basically shift things under the basis of the Constitution. So what parts of the Constitution do you very specifically?
I can't quote it. I can't quote it for sure. But beach access for all is my part of the Constitution that I most love. That's what I like the most.
When is the last time?
I don't know the exact wordings that's on there, but it's in the state constitution about beach access for Hawaiians and for everyone.
Thank you. When's the last time that you read? When's the last time that you read the state constitution?
I've never read the state constitution. I'll be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay.
But I will right after this for sure.
That's my time for now. We'll turn it over to someone else.
Thank you for the questions.
Sure. Daniel, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah, sure. Hey, aloha, Ernest. It's good to see you, man. So I'm going to start off. I've got a few questions, but I'll start with this one. As a public representative, it's a duty to face the truth and to act righteously. These islands reflect the lowest voter turnout in the United States. Now, on May 15th, 2019, Dr. David Kianusai gave a presentation to the Maui County Council, evidencing the illegal overthrow of Queen Liliuokalani in 1893 and showing clear violation of domestic and international law with the ongoing illegal United States military occupation of the Kingdom of the Hawaiian Islands. As a candidate for public representation, how do you rectify handling the truth of Dr. Sai's presentation, as well as the works of Keamoku Kapu, Henry Noah, Amelia Gora, Bumpy Kanahele, Leon Su, Dr. Desaias, Madame Ruth Bolome, the Ko Hawaii Pai Aina office in Hilo, etc.? How do you rectify the compliance of the law in restoration of occupied lands?
Well, currently, I'm glad you asked that. Being a direct descendant of King Piilani, one of the greatest Moi of this island. You know, my family, the whole Pai family on my mom's side, we are the last family on this island to have our ahupua'a in Ulaino, Hana. I had the pleasure of going back there before the pandemic to work on some wastewater issues that we had there. And, you know, for me, what we really need to do is, as Hawaiians, is gather together. We need to find ourselves a Kamehameha. All those people that you have mentioned are all solid candidates. You know, you also have Louis Hokuana, who is my cousin. I get a lot of my knowledge from my families, from my relatives, and from just stories that were turned from generation. If I show you my genealogy, I have Queen Liliuokalani on my genealogy. I have Kekaulike, I have Kamehameha. They're all part of my blood. So what we need to do, first of all, is find a one true leader that can bring all the Hawaiians together. That's what we need. We need one true leader that everybody respects and is going to recognize as our Kanaka Mo'ole, the leader of the Kanaka Mo'ole, our Konihiki. We need to find that person first. And there's a lot of people, you know, we find a Konihiko and find a Hawaiian council that will bring everybody together. That's how I feel that we can get some type of sovereignty or this issue of the overthrow be resolved.
Okay, mahalo. Kanamu, now what happened with the county council in 2018 when Kianusai gave that presentation? Did you get a chance to view that?
So you know what I did do though? I made the food for after. I was making the food for after. Yeah.
Very good.
I wasn't there at the presentation, but everybody, my cousins had a video of it and watched the video. It was, you know, Dr. Kianusai, he has a lot of knowledge on Hawaiian land titles and all that makihiki and all the great mahele, you know, with the, I'd like to pick his brain when it's time.
Yeah, he's got a lot to pick.
A lot of knowledge.
Thanks for feeding the lahui.
Thank you very much.
And mahalo. I'll pass on to the question, and I'll come back.
Laura, would you like to take the next questioning?
Yes, sure. what I would like to know is, what do you see as your main goal? If you get elected, what is the main goal you want to accomplish in that position?
Our main problem that we have on the west side in my district, in our district, people live here, is affordable housing.
Yes.
It's we need to get our affordable housing. We need to find out what state land we can build on. We need to get that moving quickly, because right now that's everybody's main concern. Everybody, that if you're on this side, if your housing concerns are taken care of, that leaves so much, that takes off so much pressure off of the people here. I am for one that have to pay a high rent where we live, and it's not fair. So affordable housing is our main option. There was a House bill that was passed several years ago that gave money, billions of dollars for housing, for affordable housing and workforce housing. And as a state rep, I would make sure that West Maui and Maui in general gets its share of that money.
Okay. So the other thing is, every time people talk about affordable housing, they always put it together with development of hotels. And we have so much tourism now, it's 44% of the population when we're not on lockdown. How can you see that we can do this without developing more hotels, and just have also local developers? Because if we have people from the mainland, they take all the money with them. All the profit doesn't stay on Maui. And I was wondering how we could get affordable housing and build it and keep the money here.
I'm thinking that, back in the day when they built Kaanapali, AmFac built Kaanapali Resort, they also built Wahikuli subdivision. They to secure for their workers. When Kapalua built when Maui Land and Pine built Kapalua Bay Hotel, they secured the Pili House subdivision for their workers. A lot of people that work the hotels and lived at these housing that the hotels provide, they worked there for years. What I would propose to you, gather all these hotels that are around here. If they would put some kind of kitty on the side to invest in housing for their workers, if my employer gave me something towards housing, I would be so loyal to them. I would stay there and work there as long as I could, as long as it'll take care of my family. So the loyalty thing, that's what we need to do. We need to have the hotels invest in their workers. Mm-hmm. That's one of the ways, I think. And like I said, there was a House bill that was passed in 2018 that gave hundreds of millions of dollars for affordable housing, and we need to look into that. I've been asking Angus about it. Still haven't got an answer.
Okay, thank you. So I don't know when my time's up, because there's no, I can't see Paul.
Okay, let me chime in.
About 30 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How about if I take the next question?
Go ahead, Bruce.
My question is about really the lifeblood of the island and our water rights. And do you see a necessity for full financial disclosure and transparency for members of the Board of Land and Natural Resources who
very much so.
Effectively make decisions involving hundreds of millions of dollars in natural resources, and often for the benefit of private business interests, but who work as, quote, unpaid volunteers for the state? if so, and if elected, what would you do to bring about this needed change?
Of course, being native Hawaiian and having cousins that are taro farmers and farmers in general, and people who are living here up in Kaula Valley, who are having water issues right now. You know, what needs to be done, I feel, is the watchers need to be watched. There need to be a revolving, everybody needs to be on the same page, I feel. Seems like there's like secret meetings here, secret meetings there, and people are still not getting the water. EMI needs to release more water. I for one, our property in Hana is not getting the normal water that we should be getting. So my uncles are already in the process of going back and tracing the streamline and see if there's any kind of dam buildup or any kind of diversion. You know, what I would do is form every community would have their own water commission to watch over the watchers of the water. That would be my first step.
So just to follow up to that question, really, when you look at the root of what's fixating this dysfunction about water access and distribution, we got to go to the Board of Land and Natural Resources, who are empowered to allocate. So the question I have is, what specifically would you do to change that dynamic, that empowerment that they have? And is there something that you would recommend for near-term solutions?
Well, of course, you need to see the demand of where the water needs to go, where the water used to go. So everybody needs to get back on the table. You know, with the border, it's run by the state, but you still have county entities. You know, Board of Water Supply run by the county. You got Peter Martin, who has his water company. You have all these different water companies that are all in for profit. We need to make sure that the farmers, we need to have a general water commission. We get the farmers, the private entities, the DLNR, or the Board of Land and Natural Resources, and the county, and form one entity to make sure that everybody gets what they need. And hold meetings like this, hold meetings where everybody can see it. Have open meetings where everything involving water, everybody can know about it. And not just have the meetings on like some night where you have several meetings so everybody can get to it and say what they need to say. The community, the government should the government should let the community get involved in the process way more, because a lot of people in the community are way smarter than the people that are in the government right now.
Great. Thank you for that answer, Balinbin. And we'll go to our next interviewer. Laura, you're if you could go on mute.
Okay.
Bruce, why don't you?
Aloha.
Aloha.
What are your feelings about home rule as far as counties go? The counties right now, we're on a parent and child relationship where counties are only allowed to do what the state gives them the right to do. There's a lot of talk about home rule and allowing, changing the Constitution so counties have home rules. What is your feelings about home rule and as far as the counties go?
Well, right now there's confusion on, the governor says one thing. I know right now everything needs to go through the governor right now. If the county wants to do something, some kind of change or whatever policies they have to go through the governor. We need one person saying what needs to be done with influences from all the counties. That what we have here is different. What we had for the start is different counties having different rules, and it kind of caused problems in clarifications. That's what we need to do. I feel that during this COVID-19, for the safety of the people, there should just be one. The governor should be. He's not doing the right thing, but the governor should make the decisions. even though he's not making the right ones right now.
So if you were governor right now, what choices would you make?
My main one is I would quarantine all the visitors in 1 or 2 hotels. Quarantine them all in 1 or 2 hotels. GPS ankle bracelet somehow to monitor the tourists that come in more effectively, because what's going on right now is not working. You still see tourists here in Lahaina that you also said, aren't you supposed to be in quarantine? They're like, they don't say nothing because yeah, they're supposed to be, and they just drive off. You know, it's not happening here. The people in Lahaina are a little upset about the amount of tourists that are here.
And what about your feeling that we're only having one new alleged coronavirus per day at this point on the state?
Yeah, you know, if it's great news. You know, it means that the social distancing and the stay-at-home order is working. I feel that I don't think there should be anybody let out more than groups of 10. You know, the social distancing I feel has really, really worked. And you know, to be honest, because I have 4 kids, and I don't want my kids to get infected, I'm okay with being at home till the 31st. After the 31st, you know, between now and the 31st, we can make assessments, but I don't think that we should open up yet as fully as we should, as other states and counties are.
And for my final question, what are your feelings about how to increase our food security in the state of Hawaii, as far as what the state legislature could be doing to increasing our food security?
I think we need to subsidize all these farmers, the state, county, federal, on the federal level. We need to subsidize these farmers. I'm even okay with the state having their own farmers, their own slaughterhouses, with a state-run farm, a state-run slaughterhouse, where we can keep the food in the state, feed the state, and make money for the state. You know, we got a lot of land here to farm. We got a bunch of great farmers here on Maui, and you know, if the state doesn't want to grow their own food, we can help the farmers who are doing it right now. Help subsidize them. Give them some extra money to beef up their farms or to produce more food. Right now we're buying upcountry food, boxes of upcountry lettuce and mixed veggies for like $30, and it's unreal. It's great product. We've been eating lettuce. We've been eating such great, good food from the people of Maui. You know, we need to get more. We need to get cattle. I think aquaculture, so the fish farm. We have a lot of, you know, get the colleges to run an aquaculture farm. You know, we could make a, you know, there's people that I've worked in with trying to change the wastewater on a county level that have innovative technology that can boost your aquaculture, help with your waste in your slaughterhouse and your dairies, reduce sludge by 80%. It's just trying to get the county old boy network to use these technologies. You know, we've already introduced them. We actually had a pilot project that was going to happen in Kihei that I helped the Eric Nakagawa on a county level. And we're also I'm introducing the same technology over to Larry Pacheco for the bathrooms to reduce sludge. You know, that's one of our problems here, Marius. Well, it was a problem when we had tourists, but still, right now I feel this is a county issue, but right now is the best time to use this technology and clean out all our pipes, clean out all our bathrooms, and get all our sewage systems working more efficiently, using less energy and with a cleaner product in the end.
Okay.
Check it out,
Thank you.
process. Check it out.
Right.
Check out the EDRO process. Hopefully they'll be implementing here in the county soon. YDRO process.
All right. With that, I'll pass it to the next person.
Okay,
So,
thanks a lot. I'm just wondering, Sylvia, are you there? If you are, please unblock. Okay, Sylvia must not
All you
She didn't.
farmers here
She's
on
not
Maui,
an
right
interviewer.
on, you
She's
guys.
just
Good job
watching.
right now.
Yeah.
Good product you guys giving us on here on the west side. And thank you for all the donation that all you farmers been giving, all the food deliveries and all the churches who have been passing out food. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Paul, do you have specific questions that you want to ask on right now?
I do. I do have one question that I really like to ask around education. Certainly it has a huge impact here on Maui, and what's been happening over the years, especially with retention of teachers and the number of unregistered teachers that we have in our school system. What are your thoughts, and how can you address this issue that really is pervasive throughout Maui County?
When you're coming from a family of teachers and principals and educators on my Balinbin side and on my whole pie side, you know, we need to do more for the teachers. You know, people who have their kids home all day now and are trying to homeschool them know how difficult it is to teach to teach a child and run your house at the same time and doing all these things. And the teachers are really important people. For me, I would just flat out, I'd say it straight up. I think that the politicians should take a pay cut and give it to the teachers. That's one of my things. I think teachers should be helped with their, you know, they need pay raises. They need some type of subsidized for their, some kind of subsidized for their living arrangements. You know, they need, God, they need everything. Teachers are one of the most important occupational jobs here in Hawaii, and the parents who are at home with their kids will agree with that. You know, I feel that tax breaks, subsidize living arrangements, you know, somehow help with your living arrangements, and pay raises, fair and just pay raises for these teachers to keep them here in Hawaii and to keep them in the job that they're in.
So it's so what you're proposing it has a budgetary component to it, but when you follow the money for education and you look at how much money is consumed in Oahu by administrators and all these other things, and what actually comes back to Maui in our school system, and why it's been so long since schools that were promised to be built long ago.
I'll definitely be a vocal part. I'll be a vocal part. I'll be a vocal part of legislature in favor of financially helping teachers. You know, like schools, like some schools, like in Lahaina Luna, when I was going to high school, Lahaina Luna used to grow their own vegetables, slaughter their own pigs, have their own chickens. You know, we're going to have to start doing, you know, we can start doing that again. We have Maui Community College, UHMC, that is starting a aquaculture farm. So, you know, schools we can help fund them to help them fund themselves. You know, it can be done. It can be done.
Great.
Okay, thank you. I do have one question for you. You know, the state has been basically in charge of agriculture, and once again, we get back to the state constitution versus, the power of everything flows from federal constitution, state constitution, county, and into ancillary parts of the county versus departments and other things, ancillary parts. But as we stand right now, we look at this COVID challenge we've got. We have this ability to really rewrite things. One of the things that's been passed around is the possibility of a Maui County Department of Agriculture, which we would actually take care of our own. Could you, literally spend like just a minute or two thinking on your idea, or would you back? First of all, would you back something like that? And second of all, what would you do in the state legislature to help promulgate that?
I would totally back something like that. You know, Maui. I feel that Maui can lead the way We have land to farm. We have educated farmers here who have been doing it for a long time. You know, we can lead the state. We can lead the state into being, you know, subsidize ourselves, self-sustainable by growing all these vegetables. We're doing it now. And we if we get it, if we can form some kind of Department of Agriculture here and for the island of Maui, I am all for it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to pick up from here? I've got a ton of questions, but I don't want to hog the, yeah. Hi, Sylvia. Aloha. You'll have to unmute yourself, and you've got 5 minutes.
Aloha.
Hi.
I don't know if I need 5 minutes, but thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you.
We
You're welcome.
are, yeah, you know, we don't usually endorse Republicans, I guess. And you did mention something about how running as a Republican is a strategy for you. And I'd like to hear you say more about that. It's interesting why you chose that.
Well, you know, back in the day when we had Linda Lingo, and I got to, as mayor, I got to speak with her, and because she was a Republican and our family was we were staunch Democrats at the time, you know, but we were supporting her. And I asked my dad, and my dad, guys, you know, why? She said she's got the brains, she's got the know-how, she's got the get up. She wants to do things for this island. And after talking to her when she was the mayor and you know, speaking with her, I loved her professionalism. You know, I like with the Republican Party, I like how they are one. You know, like they remind me of my family. Right or wrong, they're gonna back you. They're gonna back you up, no matter what it is. They're gonna get to the root of it. From what I see in this administration here is tricky. It's not like the George Bushes and the Ronald Reagan Republicans. It's totally different. So, you know, I consider myself a progressive Republican, meaning that there's new ideas that I want to bring to the Republican Party. And yeah, that's what I, you know, after speaking with Dr. Asman here and some other of the Republican people on this side, you know, they go to my church, they live in my neighborhood. They're just regular people. You know, I find myself as a Republican that wants to work with Democrats. If you know, for me, it's not a party thing. It's more of a cohesive thing. I want to bring cohesiveness back to the state. Just, you know, right or wrong, whatever party you are, I would like to go more with what's right and what's better for the people of Hawaii.
Thank you for your answer. I hate to even bring up party, but it does sort of classify your viewpoint, I would say, to be a Republican. And if I understand you right, you have been already a Republican. So it's not that you switched to being a Republican. And then you classify yourself as a progressive Republican. So I'd like to hear more about what that means. And in the grand scheme of things, how do you, would you say that you're an environmentalist or not? Would you say that you're progressive in general or not? How would I place your point of view?
Well, see, I'm being Native Hawaiian. I don't want to bring any harm to these islands, to this land, to anything like to. So, you know, when I say progressive, there's technology out there that I have brought to the table to the legislature, to our county. But you know, you kind of get shut down by the old boy network kind of deal. So that's why I had joined the Republican Party. I don't want to be stuck in the same thing. Right now is the time for innovation, for a time of change. There's technology out there, like how I said, with wastewater. that I was fortunate to go to Houston and to go to Ohio and see these showcase plants that they had. And if you go into a sewage plant and there's no smell, is one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen. And it's all from this one product, the Hydro process. And I'm not, because I did my research, because I come from this side, the rejection wells and all these things that I've seen, wastewater has been a thorn in my side because of the smells that we used to get from our treatment plant here in Honokawai. And seeing how not just the injection well, but seeing how the hotel development kind of killed our reefs. It killed our reefs. So on that point, yeah, I want change. I want change for better. Change for better. I like the old ways. I like the clean water now. I want what's right for this island. I want my kids to be able to go swimming in this island and not have to worry about getting sores or anything like that. I'm a parent that cares for his kids and cares about his community. That's who I am.
Thank you. I really appreciate your answer. Thanks for coming.
But all you people that are out there, go check out the Hydro process. It's amazing what they can do for wastewater, wastewater sludge reduction, odor reduction, making your plant run better. They do slaughterhouse. They clean waste from slaughterhouses, dairies, breweries, and aquaculture. They can boost your aquaculture. They have this shrimp farm in Ecuador that they help, and they help the yield. They boosted the yield by 600% a month. It's amazing stuff, and we need some of that technology here on this island.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer on that,
Great.
Sylvia.
I see Daniel with his hand up.
Question up, exactly. So go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, aloha again. Thank you, Kanamu.
How's it, Daniel?
So I'm just going over what I hear you saying. There's a few points that I want to sort of highlight. You talk about how to be all on the same page. That there's these secret meetings going on, and that is very clear, especially with the big question now with COVID going on and certain legislative processes being shut down and testimony perhaps not being accepted in most cases for certain decision makings. And the way you talk about food security and having proper subsidizing for farms and having these perhaps state-run farms and slaughterhouses to support the state, which is important because all this food that's coming in and all the food that's going out, but not having the balance of perhaps sustainability. Now, my question has to do with the economic recovery of this situation that we're looking at because of this lockdown situation across worldwide. This is definitely taking a toll on the economy, and without a doubt, it's showing us the fragility of perhaps having a tourist-based society, and even the danger of that. Which as you mentioned, that there's still hotels that are accepting tourists, and they're getting out, and it's not proper quarantine situation going on. So,
right.
It seems like tourism still looking to get its fair share of profits, even amongst the situation. So, as a part of the economic recovery, like, how do you plan to take care of our community when they need help to survive during this crisis and adjustment, for the economic recovery of this?
Well, the one thing about this virus is that it's not impartial to anyone. Anybody can get sick. Everybody is pretty much on the same boat here, unless you're like super loaded. Even though if you're rich, you can still get sick, and you can still, you know, you still pass away and die from this virus. You know what? You know, there's, when you say how can we recover? How can we? You know, it's gonna take brains smarter than I am to do this. What we can do is take care of ourselves right now with, you know, with the farming, with getting help to the farmers, getting help, you know, getting help to the people who make food and create food. We need to somehow find ways, everybody's gonna hate to say it, but somebody's gonna have to pay for all this stimulus and all these freebies that everybody's been getting. So, you know, financial prowess is not one of my strong points. So that I would just question how my main focus is more focused on how we take care of ourselves right now on a daily basis until we can get out there. You know, I feel that after this month is this December 30th quarantine stay-at-home order is done, that we can start opening some of the restaurants at 25% capacity. You know, just as a startup, as other states are going. You know, I really feel that the politicians need to take a pay cut. That's one of the things. That's one of the people that needs to take a pay cut. All these high paying government jobs need to take a pay cut.
Right, because
the teachers can't take a pay cut because they don't get paid that much.
Right, that's for sure. And you know, I hear when you say that there's brains smarter than what the government's sort of putting their decision making on, and that's definitely an important factor. I feel everyone else in the community when there's really qualified solutions to these issues. Yet, what is the driving power behind the decision making for profit or for sustainability? So when it comes to which I've heard you mention a few times now, is having the community being more involved, having these smart brains come to the table, you know, because there are a lot of broad things going on. We got economy that is a huge factor, and then everything else that they mentioned. So just perhaps very quickly, what can you reflect based on your experience within the council and running that? So we got 30 seconds, just real quick, as far as how to get these brains to the table and involved.
By putting it out there, by advertising, hey, we're gonna have a meeting on this. You know, please put your info. Write testimonies. Have people come. You know, you need to. A lot of the times, these meetings are like, from what I know, like spur of the moment, like a week out. You need to make it so people can plan, so people can take off on these days that they have these meetings, and have it, you know, twice in a day or 3 times in a day, so other people can come and do that, and attend the meeting and put in their input.
Thank you. Appreciate the input on that. Kanamu, do you know how much you would be making as a state legislator?
You know, I'm not. No, because I'm not in it for the money.
I'm just asking if you knew what the salary is.
I believe it's somewhere in the $70,000 range.
58,000 plus per year. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to put that in.
Well, less than county council. But that's you know, for me, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it for to help this community. To be honest, I'm not. If you know me, if you're with me and I have $10, $5, and you don't have any money, $5 is yours. That's how I run myself. I run myself on honor, keeping my word, and doing what I say I'm going to do. And if I'm wrong, I say sorry and ask for forgiveness.
Okay, no problem. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Paul.
Yeah. Sorry.
No problem.
Yes,
I'm not trying to be forceful or anything like that. I'm just.
Oh no.
You know,
it was just
yeah.
a matter of putting it out just so that, you know, the public,
Right.
we have hundreds of people that will be listening to this. And so I just wanted to kind of put out what it is that we're talking about regarding income.
Okay.
That's all. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, Kanamu,
Yes, sir.
we were talking a lot about recovery and how important then our agriculture will be in that process and sustainability. And recently, my Pono was caught using Paraquat on crops. And what are your thoughts about then using different types of chemicals on our crops versus organic? And what would you do in the legislature to help with this issue?
Well, all the veggies that I've been eating are claimed to be organic vegetables, and really Pono should be fined dramatically for doing that. They've been advertising how they only do organic stuff, and you know, the Paraquat, from what I've known from inside sources, is that Paraquat is just left over from HCNS days. So that's why they've been using it from that's what some type of excuse I've been getting, but that's not feasible, because Paraquat is like a Roundup on steroids. So really, they should be fined, and people here in Maya are educated on that. They know how to. They don't know how to. The farmers are educated. They know how to run to do a total organic product. You know, I'm all for organics. That's why I'm saying. I'm not a supporter of GMO, and I like my things natural and fertilized organically.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The one good thing is the ex-lieutenant governor was able to ensure that my Pono will never have GMOs. There are questions regarding other things that are happening there, so we can't thank for that one particular issue.
Right.
So there's a lot of other questions, but one thing is, fortunately, there'll never be any GMOs there. Hopefully, we can help them towards a more enlightened approach.
So, you know,
Okay,
if you're gonna run a farm, and you want to run it to help the community, I'm all for it. You know, just run it right. Do what you say you're gonna do.
Absolutely. Aloha,
Yeah.
Tommy. How are you doing? Are you ready to jump in a little bit, ask a few questions?
Give me a couple minutes to get my bearings here. I just
because we've only got about 10 minutes left for Kanamu, so we're going to be moving on. We have 1 hour with him, and we're in their last few.
Have we talked about? Well, I'm sorry. I'm just joining right now. So
you can just ask whatever you'd like, and we'll pick it up from there.
Kanamu, nice to meet you.
You know, I just asked. Oh, nice to meet you. I was just gonna say, you know, I'm not your normal candidate here. I am, like, when there's a problem here in Lahaina or anything like that. Okay, there's a wastewater issue. So I went out and I researched wastewater things, different types of wastewater treatments and ways that we can better our system. And, you know, we narrowed it down to 3, and we contacted the one that had the best rating. And they was fortunate enough to come out here and to work with the county. And then with beach access, you know, people, you know, there's beach access closed. People came to Uncle. We can't go down this beach access anymore. So I went out and spoke with the hotels, spoke with, you know, got in touch with Kaini Shiki, who was involved in all of this stuff. And luckily I met Bianca Sasaki down at the canoe, one of the canoe haulers that we had an event there. And, you know, we did something about it. When, you know, when there's problems, I'm not the smartest one to do it, but I guess I have the ability to find people who can have solutions. I was always taught by not to, if I can solve it myself, oh, that would be great. But most of the times I can't, and you need to find people, different situations, different people at different ways to do a product, to have a solution. You know, that's the way it needs to be done. Not just, oh, you do it like this like the old boy network the opioid network has to be put aside. It needs to. We need to be more progressive. I was taught, like I said, I was taught not to focus on a problem, but to focus on solutions. Find solutions to problems. That's what I was always taught.
Well, first of all, Kanamu, at the end, I'll say a couple of things, but it's been really refreshing, I think, for Sylvia and others here. I've backed both Republicans, Independents, and Democrats over the periods of years. It's based on who the person is, not on the values or whatever, the D or the R or whatever it is. We've had a polarized system for the last several years, and I think it's very important for everyone to understand that beyond that is the person that's running. That's what's really important.
Thank you.
So within that context, Tommy, you've got 5 minutes. So would you like to run with it?
Yeah, one of the issues that I'm becoming a little more aware of is the unsheltered on Maui. And I've witnessed a good generation and a half of unsheltered folks on Maui, and it's getting worse. And to me, it feels like the response from our elected officials is, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's terrible. And that's all we hear. So I'd like to know, what have you thought about the issue of the unsheltered? And, what is your, it's not a pretty issue on any side. So give me your take on that.
Because I own a catering company, and we've been fortunate enough to still feed some construction sites. Now I've always, from a young age, I've always been sympathize with people that are less fortunate than I am. We go out almost daily to drop food off to people. But what I've seen that's working on Oahu is that they built little makeshift little tiny houses for right now for the unsheltered to live in. We have some land in Lahaina that was old sugarcane land that could do that next to the shelter. One of the problems that I've seen that the police officers that are having here that I've spoken with is that a lot of these people don't want to go to the shelter because there's rules. A lot of people just want to drink and get loaded and hang out down Front Street. I think people who don't want to go into the shelter need to somehow be persuaded to not be like that. I don't know. That's one thing that I've been working with some of the police officers, Lieutenant Garrett Tihara, who used to run the station here in Lahaina. There's just not any options right now. But if you have an option or a detox center on this side, along with some tiny camping homes like they have that they built on Oahu, that will help alleviate some of the unsheltered populations. But yes, what I do daily is we go out and we feed them. We feed them. We give them a bottle of water. Give them cups. Give them Tupperware. If you bring, you got a clean Tupperware, we'll fill it up for you. Just anything we can do to help them on a humanity level. That's what I've been doing.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Are there any other questions as we wrap up here? Tony, Tommy, were you complete with your question that you had?
The only follow-up I would have, I think I should ask is, are you familiar with the concept of human first housing?
No, I'm not. Where can I look that up?
The internet would be a good place, but human first is the approach that you have to work with people, right? Okay. And you don't get to choose just the sober people or the people that are willing to get sober, that you need to work with people, and that there isn't a restriction in helping people, even if they're, not sober, right? Because we've legally classified as, addictions as diseases. And so if these are diseases, these should be treated. And so just because someone has a disease, that shouldn't prevent them from housing, right? So that is the progressive view for the unsheltered, is right. So that is that's something I'd like to take a peek at.
That. I apologize. I apologize. Actually, we're going to have to wrap it up. And
yeah, sure.
Kanamu, that's probably something good for you to work with. First of all, we want to thank you very much for coming on with us today and for setting up. And I think once again, people are able to see that it's about the heart of the person versus the party. That's what's really important. And we definitely appreciate you, and good luck in the elections. And I think we're going to be moving on to our next person from here. So if you wouldn't mind signing off, Kanamu, you can follow it if you'd like on Facebook from here forward. And thank you for being part of the process.
Actually, we had Angus on here a moment ago, but he just jumped off. So we could take another. He's coming back on.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be coming back on.
Let me show a shot to Angus. How's it, Angus? Hope your mom is doing okay, buddy. I hope your mom's doing okay, Angus. Anyway, once again, my name is Kanamu Balinbin. I'm running for State House of Representatives, District 10. I'm for the Kupuna. I'm for the Keiki. I believe in God the Father, Jesus the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All I want to do is what's best for the West Side, for my district, and for the whole state of Hawaii. That's what I want. I want community involvement. I want people to get involved. I want the smarter heads of this island to get involved with this process so we can help each other get through with this virus and thrive once again as a race here on Maui. Thank you very much.
Okay.